Thorchain, one of the native tokens that is RUNE, so I mean the cryptocurrency, has stolen the show lately with a massive 50% surge in the previous week. As a result, the asset has jumped above $1.3 and right now is heading towards a previous highs. So Thorchain is a DeFi protocol where you can transfer your assets from the cryptos like Bitcoin and send it through the platform, this protocol, and get back another one. So there are cross-chain transactions, something, the solution that the industry was waiting for a long time. And back in 2021, it eventually hit the mainnet, but right now is heading back with another revelation. So we'll talk about this in a very moment. The question, of course, is whether if those all good news that I will let out today, can this protocol recoup its prior highs and land somewhere even up to $10. So stay by the end, as we have many fundamentals, many technicals, and at the end I will give you the eventual case of my final study and also the supposed trade idea. So let's head on, and right here you have is it not too late to invest in Thorchain? That's the presentation for today. So latest outstanding performance was absolutely crushing. Let's look at this XFI. That's one of the popular, not maybe the most popular, but also gaining traction exchange, crypto exchange that was on which the Thorchain has gained a second place in terms of growth. So the only one bigger gainer was Bluzel, and right after there is LifePeer, but the Thorchain had a very important data that is letting out very imminent. So Thorchain as a whole protocol is a solution to swap native assets between any supported chains or deposits, and right here you can get it on Binance and any other prominent crypto exchange. And what I can find right there is that on many of those exchanges there was an announcement that that Thorchain is about to let out its new solution, and this solution is right here, the Thorchain landing. And Thorchain landing is this solution that helps us. It's kind of a decentralized cross-chain platform for finances, and this is a solution that recently also received approval from node operators. So this is a lending feature that is initially been basing on the idea that has been introduced on Terra Luna project, but we do know all what happened to Terra Luna and Doc 1. So Thorchain is doing everything to not go that path, and right now introducing the protocol, the lending protocol, that will help its users to gain better results on lending and staking the tokens, and also having an interest on this and possibly leverage that may boost their profit out of the Thorchain by not only investing but also by staking and securing the tokens. So Thorchain is a kind of a full suite of financial products built on top of a Thorchain that includes a native algorithmic stablecoin. Also, there's a Thor to USD. So also that introduces no liquidation risk lending against your layer 1 liquidity pool. So it's also about to secure the users that also haven't been introduced to many of those stablecoins that already have literally demised. So that's also the protocol that helps you to being secured against this impermanent loss risk. That's also something that many investors will look with an interest at. So the one thing that I wanted to point out about this all things that is right now only available for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you just look at here with chain origins of cumulative liquidity fees, the most of the liquidity fees is been gained out of the Dogecoin right here once again, and Bitcoin Cash. So those chains are not yet supported by this DeFi type of a Thorchain protocol, but still we are waiting for this, and it should be introduced any moment. So right now that's something that may not really maybe bring the long sustaining growth for the protocol, as we don't know that most of the Doge users want to really have it cross-chained transactions with a Thorchain platform. One of the problems for the Thorchain existence, as for many other protocols this year, is this regulatory problem. So that's kind of a ticking time bomb when given for such protocols that right this one that is supposedly private, there is just no way around it to bypass all regulations. Security Exchange Commission looks that tenacious that it may even courting every single token one by one, and the Thorchain is the one that already has been also sued by with allegations for raising 2.6 million in 2018 ICO. That's why that's something that right now is to deliberate, and we need to also face these risks. So the fundamentals of Thorchain is being recognized by daily total value locked. So normally the Thorchain is a very low fees protocol. That's why they don't really make many money out of the transactions. But by staking on the platform right now, it's getting more of a type of accruing the profit for the structure itself. So if you just look at here, you can find that the daily total value locked lately has been dropping until late July, when it started to pick up again. So what does it mean? It means that it will be right now Thorchain in a spotlight of a speculator. So when those fundamentals are getting better and better, right now we maybe with just another spike, but we are trying to recoup its previous highs, and the April's performance may be upon a way. Right now we have had the highest daily total value locked since the early of May, and that's something that we need to ponder. All right, so for this one of the metrics, we need to look at also another one, and I have for you right here the socials. So we need to look at the supporters, the whole holders, and the ones that are really faithful in this protocol. So you can find right here that socials has been rising throughout 2022, but right now they are reaching a plateau, and that's something that we may alert and also find out as a kind of a backstop on the type of a considering the Thorchain as a very decent investment. But we can also find this out that it's starting to pick up in the beginning of July. So something is about to happen right here. When it comes to security, as we are right at the CoinGecko, that gives us a point. Yes, so the Thorchain has been hacked back in 2021, but I think that it's very likely that they just took the few cents out of this crack, and with this security score out of the 30 at 89%, it's still a decent bet, and something that is found to be a secure type of a blockchain. Right back, we are heading to on-chain, so we are approaching the topic of technicals, but right now let's look at positioning and on-chains indeed. So right here you can find that despite RUNE's price uptrend, the open interest has consistently dropped, and that's what is happening, and what you can find right here. So the further supporting this pullback thesis is that the open interest and on-chain metric that shows the sum of shorts and long positions for the asset right now is getting into a bigger slack, and that's normally a technical indicator that helps us to understand the market, whether it's gaining strength or losing momentum. And right now, with this type of a market reaction, open interest is the one of a red alert that I wouldn't really put the money on this token right now. But we have something more, and I will just send you to funding rates. Funding rates also are pointing where the money are right now sitting at, and where is the dominant power of the market at. So right here you can find with RUNE that is a sorry, it used to be a draw, but right now looks like something crashed. So I need to have it backtracked. Sorry for this. So RUNE right here is on many of exchanges alongside the Binance at the minus its negative funding rate. So it means there are high power to the upside. So the longs need to pay shorts more for the positions on the leverage. And so right here, as the market is so over exaggeratedly optimistic on the RUNE, I would maybe hang on for another brief in instead of just jumping on this brief out moment. I will let you know what I mean exactly at the chart in a second. So stay by that. And right here you have a sentiment. So when analyzing many of crypto assets, we need to look at the total sentiment among altcoins, as they are acting interchangeably together. So crypto total market cap, excluding BTC and ETH, right now is following inside of this channel, this horizontal channel, and this altcoin market cap is showing some sort of a, I would say, triple bottom, maybe inverted head and shoulders situation. But right now, as we won't get through this upper boundary of this horizontal lane, I wouldn't really jump on this bandwagon, and we don't normally want the head and shoulders pattern that is sitting in the middle of consolidation. So potential completion of the pattern would supposedly mark the beginning of alt season, but it's still some time ahead. So there is a cold shower after some of the takeaways that I wanted to point out lately. So those of you that have been betting on Thorchain to be a plain sailing ride right now may get disappointed, but it's not about scaring you or something. It's about protecting your capital. All right. So what's ahead of us? We need to look at macro, of course, as well. So normally, yes, the macro adds up to the sentiment on the market, but in a short-term, long-term time horizon, normally it's more like a long-term. But this time, I wanted to point out what you need to expect from the market in a medium to long-term time horizon. As always, we are talking of this, of course. So right here, July's inflation data arriving slightly softer than predicted, so highlighted the challenges, particularly because traders interpreted it as a signal that Federal Reserve is likely to emphasize an ongoing task with interest rate rises. So the interest rates may remain unchanged for now at the upcoming meeting, but with this, we can find Treasury 2-year yields and 10-year yields still rising up higher. We may have a higher chance of a recession. And normally, when this inverse type of a relation of Treasury 2-year yield and 10-year yields happens, we have going through a real downturn right now, as we have reached that high level on that chart, and normally it's a sign that we are supposedly have a recession on the long way. So when talking about long term, you need to assess the risk supposed out of the macro. So with this investors and central bankers that are grappling with this increasingly complex situation are just assessing what the result of this inverted line tells us, and that's something that about the recession that is still in the air. What about the long term? Of course, there is a diaring balance sheets, and that's something also that I wanted to point out with Fed's balance sheet contracts for the 8th consecutive week. It means that right now the economy is in a contraction. It don't adds up to a positive outlook for the crypto totally, and that also telling us that without this AI type of narration for stocks and crypto, we supposedly wouldn't have this rally up forward. So for the stocks and crypto, such as Thorchain, this quantitative tightening type of a moment for the economy is really concerning. So the Fed is back to selling, with securities down almost 33 billion on the week to its lowest since July 2021. So it couldn't get through unnoticed. So this normalization, even though will happen with inflation, may supposedly end up this type of a contraction, this type of a quantitative tightening, but still it's supposedly 1 year away, with Goldman Sachs predictions Fed to begin lowering rates by June, gradual reductions to follow right after that. So we are right now at the technicals, and at the technicals you may find right here that the Thorchain to US is at 1.37, and we have formed, I will just send you to the exact chart, and only weekly, as it's the most important chart right now, we had a perfect rebound bottom with a nice decent volume, with this candle of exhaustion that had been built right here, and the engulfing pattern right after. So it symbolizes the supposed odds to a rebound for the next longer period of time. RUNE USDT right now, however, is building a open Marubozu with this candlestick that is classified as the one that is very bullish normally, So I mean this one, but the one that is following is used to be, as I have looked at the chart previously, used to be a candlestick formation, or rather candlestick that is that may resemble the shooting star, but right now it's morphing into something more positive. So it looks like we may have a continuation right after, but for now we have a ton of liquidity, ton of congestion, ton of compression just sitting at 1.3, 1.6. So it means it would take from us a much longer time in order to find out what and whether we'll be able to recoup this at least previous highs and form a stronger formation that may predispose us to further growth. For now, however, we are crashing through. Look at this trend line, but we need to recoup previous highs, and 1.73 level will be the one I would watch and stick to very carefully before taking another I would say the decisions about possible investments. So for me, if it get through, well, maybe if we just get to daily, if we get through 1.73 and with a supposed price action being rebounded out of the trend line, and with another stop at 1.96, I would expect this one to return to this bullish tendency with higher highs, higher lows being built. For now, however, it's still too late. You need to just observe whether there is a trajectory as I've just pointed, or there might be further weakness ahead. But we have formed a very decent low, and we may just rise from here. So that was about technicals, and right here I will just end up and wrap up today's transmission with our last slide. Let me get back to this. So we are right now with final thoughts. So throughout the pros, there is reliability and low costs, decentralization and untraceable transactions. So that's something that makes this protocol unique, right? But still, despite the decentralization and low competition in the area, we have a regulatory and scalability challenges. So also with scalability, that's the issue. As the Henry Ford, where the one that invented cars, we have an issue with roads when there weren't roads, and also the interest in cars was very scarce. That's why we also need the scalability. Not saying about regulatory, but there are many headwinds that may just turn up on the road, and that's why you need to stay as cautious as you can, and as always, do your own research. Thank you very much for today. Have a fantastic evening, and see you